Hey everyone, welcome back. Ready to add the final touches to our stylized Japanese restaurant? Stick around for some cool tips and tricks. In the previous parts, we finished modeling our restaurant. In this video, we'll add a sidewalk and a part of the street in front of our restaurant. Then I'll show you how I created the materials. Let's get started. Our model is nearly complete, and as you can see, I've added a window in the sidewall. First, let's select everything and put it in a collection with Shift-M to keep things organized. Let's create a floor under our restaurant. Add a plane and scale it with S. In edit mode, extrude it with E. Move the 3D cursor about here with Shift left click, then add a cube. Move it above the floor, then scale it to make a tile for the sidewalk. Now go to the Modifiers tab and add an array modifier. Adjust the X factor to create a little gap, then increase the count. Add another array, and this time increase the Y factor. Let's fill the sidewalk with these tiles. Move these vertices, and add 2 loop cuts here with Shift R. Select this face and extrude it up. I copied the tiles and adjusted the array and scale to create some road markings. Now we can create some materials for our restaurant. I'll keep the materials as simple as possible to keep this tutorial beginner-friendly. Let's start with adding a material to the bricks. Go to the Shading tab, select one of the walls, and add a new material. Then hit Shift-A and search for a noise texture. Make sure you've enabled the Node Wrangler add-on in the preferences. With the Node Wrangler add-on, you can see the noise texture with Control-click on it. Now select the noise texture and hit Control-T. This will add a mapping node and a texture coordinate node to the noise texture. Increase the scale of the noise texture and change the texture coordinate to Object. Adjust the noise parameters to your liking. Let's search for a color ramp and put it right after the noise texture. I like to have a dark pinkish color on the left side and a much darker one on the right side of the color ramp. We can now plug this color ramp into the base color of the principled BSDF. Then Control-click on it to make it active. Increase the roughness value and we have our material completed. You can change the material name here. We will make the other materials fairly similar to this one. Let's create an asphalt material, for instance. Select our brick material from here, then duplicate it with this icon. You can change its name as well. Change the color of the color ramp to a very dark green. Now increase the scale of the noise texture to something around 160, and set the roughness value to 1. Actually, let's set the scale to 220. Let's create materials for the canopy. But first, we need to apply the array modifier. Then create a new material and set the color to a dark blue. Increase the roughness and change the material's name. In the Materials tab, hit the plus button and select the material we just made. Duplicate it, change its name, then change its color. Go to Edit mode, and with the Face Select mode on, hover over these faces and hit L. Select this material and hit Assign. This way you can set multiple materials to a single object. For these parts, I created a gold material by changing the color to a yellowish tone and setting the metallic factor to 1. I also reduced the roughness a bit. We can assign this material to the other objects by selecting them, then select the object with the material, hit Ctrl-L, and select Link Materials. Other materials are very simple. Basically, I made them with a principled BSDF with different colors. I'm sure you can make them in no time. For the lanterns, I changed the emission color and increased its value. I added some parts in front of every window glass to create a stylized reflection effect. Finally, I added a picture of sushi and some text to the signs. And that's it. Thank you for following along with this tutorial. If you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer them in the comments. And if you created your own version of this restaurant, please send them to my email. I would be really happy to see them. Thank you, and see you in the next one.